Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with a guy named Victor, escaping from Thessalon, Greece. He meets a German journalist named Greta in a hotel room, as they planned. Victor gives Greta some secret CIA papers, with big secrets about America. She asks him how he got these papers, but he won't say. While she is taking pictures of the papers, he suddenly pulls out a gun. He says he wants to be the one to share the secrets, and he kills her without mercy. After this, the news says the CIA might have killed Greta, because she always criticized them bravely. This makes people protest in Europe, because she is the third journalist killed in a month. The Greek Deputy Foreign Minister, Kostas Leontaris, says Europe won't let the CIA act like the Wild West anymore. Meanwhile at CIA headquarters, an agent Kate watches CCTV footage from the hotel where Greta died. Victor seems very skilled, because he chose a hotel without cameras, making the investigation harder. Kate uses special technology to find a man named Victor in photos from a train station. She tells her boss, O'Malley, who's shocked because Victor was supposed to be dead for a year and a half, and used to work secretly for the CIA, linking the Russian mafia to Greece. Meanwhile, a guy named Steve Vale pretends to be a bricklayer to get a job. O'Malley and Kate tell him about Victor being alive. Steve doesn't believe it at first, because he thought he saw Victor die. But O'Malley shows him a picture of a Russian guy Victor supposedly killed 2 years ago. This guy's photo was found where Greta was killed, showing Victor wanted to reveal secrets. O'Malley asks Steve to help catch him again. Steve remembers his connection to Victor's family while working at night. Suddenly, someone shoots at him. He fights back, realizing these men are sent by Victor, and defeats them all. After this, Steve agrees to work with O'Malley again. The next day, Steve and Kate go to Greece using a military plane, to avoid notice, since the country doesn't want CIA agents. During the trip, Kate finds out about Victor's past, and how his family tragically died. They arrive at the airport, and get a military vehicle. Steve suggests stopping at a friend's place, to get disguises and gear. Patricia helps them with everything they need, even a fancy car. They head to Thessalon and check into a nice hotel, making Kate wonder who's paying. While she showers, Steve goes to a church he and Victor used to go to. He leaves a phone where they used to exchange things. Then he meets a CIA agent named Tay, and tells him why he's there. Tay is surprised, but helps Steve find an old friend named Sten. Sten runs a beach club now. Steve tries to get information from him, but Sten says Victor is dead. Steve fights the guards and leaves, just as Kate arrives to pick him up. During their drive, she reveals she's been tracking him with a device. He's put a similar one on Sten, so they can follow him, and tells her why Victor is on a revenge mission against the Russians. Victor wants $100 million in Bitcoin to stop causing trouble. Meanwhile, Tay at the Greece CIA gets a message from Victor, threatening the American government. While Steve and Kate find Sten's house successfully. When Sten leaves, Steve decides not to inform Tay, but invites Kate to search his house for evidence. They find a laptop, with a map of a market, but they don't understand its importance. Steve notices a suspicious brick, and finds secret documents hidden inside a pillar. They also find a phone belonging to Greta, a journalist, and a newspaper article about the CIA, by a guy named Alekos Melis, who seems to be Victor's next target. They hear a noise and attack a henchman who comes in, tough but gets defeated. The next day, Patricia tells them where to find Alekos Melis. They go to the market on Sten's laptop, and split up to look for Victor. Meanwhile, Patricia watches over Alekos. Victor contacts Steve, who is looking for him. Steve reminds Victor of their deal, but Victor wants revenge on the person who exposed him. He targets journalists to blame the CIA, and admits sending killers after Steve. Victor threatens to kill Kate if Steve gets in his way. In another part of the market, Kate sees riots happening. Steve chases someone who looks like Victor, but is wrong. The real Victor shows up, and kills Alekos. Steve shoots at Victor, as he runs away. Despite Steve's efforts, he couldn't catch Victor, but he knocks him off his motorcycle. Patricia finds a tablet on the motorcycle, and takes it for information. Steve shows a photo of a UN ambassador Victor is targeting, and says Victor has a list of CIA targets. Kate wants to tell O'Malley, but Steve thinks O'Malley might be helping Victor. He doesn't trust anyone in the CIA. Kate gets upset when she finds out Steve talked to Tay. Steve remembers when Victor disagreed with a mission to kill a politician. He tried to save Victor's family, but Victor was determined. When Steve wakes up, he tells Tay about the tablet, but refuses to give it to him, because Victor was his friend. He wants to save Victor. At the hotel, Kate sees Steve getting a call from an unknown person. She thinks Victor's motive isn't just money, but punishing the CIA. She suspects O'Malley too for sending Steve. She finds a missed call on Steve's phone, and thinks it is from Victor, suspecting Steve had let Victor escape. At Patricio's place, they find him dead. Steve thinks it's a trap by Victor, and Sten's gang comes to kill them. Steve surrenders to save Kate, and Sten agrees to let Kate go, but Steve surprises everyone by standing up to them. The person who set the trap disappears with Sten and his gang. Kate is surprised, but happy to see Steve alive, who reveals they were supposed to kill Kostas, the foreign minister. However, both he and Victor had refused to carry out the orders to kill the minister, and decided to quit. This angered the CIA and exposed Victor's cover to the Russian mafia. After Patricio's death, Steve felt Victor was beyond saving, because he killed their friend. Kate gets a message from O'Malley, saying the CIA would pay $100 million to Victor. O'Malley comes to Greece, and asks Kate to make the delivery, but Steve refuses, worried about her safety. So O'Malley fires Steve from the CIA. Steve realizes O'Malley's true intentions, who gives Kate a flash drive with the bitcoins, and tells her to go to a place Victor specified. Kate follows Victor's instructions, and gets a phone with a building picture. Steve surprises her, removing her trackers, and asking for the flash drive. He goes to find Victor. When they start the Bitcoin transfer, Victor says he still has to kill Kostas, and frame the CIA for Patricio's murder. Suddenly, a bomb is found, and Steve pushes it away before it explodes. After the explosion, Steve is injured, but sees Victor trying to run him over. He hides in a trash bin, while Kate arrives. They chase Victor, and Steve makes his car flip, but Victor isn't inside. Remembering Victor's threat to kill Kostas, Steve rushes to where Kostas is speaking. He sees Victor among the journalists, with a hidden weapon. Steve smashes the stage, making Victor fall. Steve apologizes for not protecting Victor's family, and asks him to surrender. But when Victor makes a suspicious move, Steve shoots him accidentally, and the police then shoot Steve. Steve wakes up later in the hospital, with Kate and O'Malley there. Kate says they found Victor's tablet, but not the bitcoins. O'Malley says they don't care about the bitcoins, because they made Kostas believe the CIA saved him, stopping a war. They also found evidence clearing the CIA. Kate suspects O'Malley took the bitcoins. At night, Steve surprises Tay at her apartment. She plans to leave town to escape recent events. While Steve plays a vinyl record, he notices another one given by Victor to Tay. This makes him realize she has met Victor. Soon, men arrive at Tay's place, and she has a gun pointed at Steve. It turns out Tay gave Victor the hit list for bitcoins. She leaves, and her hired assassins come. Steve uses explosives hidden in his vinyl records to take them out. When Tay drives off, Kate arrives and stops her. Tay tries to run them over, so Kate has to shoot her. Even though it is tough, Steve understands it was the right choice. Kate gets banned from Greece, but tells O'Malley about Tay's involvement in Victor's crimes. Surprisingly, O'Malley promotes her instead of firing her. Kate turns down the promotion and leaves the CIA, taking Steve's advice. She didn't want to deal with O'Malley, who caused all the problems in Greece by exposing Victor. O'Malley's actions led to the death of Victor's family. Finally, Steve goes back to being a bricklayer, and says he finds purpose in shaping bricks. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.